Yo, YouTube, is Anarchist Darkness, also known as Sir Killington of Colorstruck. I'm here to talk with you guys about something that's been plaguing my mind for the last 2-3 weeks. Basically, since Civil War came out, Captain America Civil War, you know, that movie that everybody's raging about. It was alright. It wasn't that great in my book. I mean, there was only one part of that movie that I really cared about, and that's when the Dora, I can never say the name. The door guard threatened to move Black Widow. That's the only thing I cared about this entire movie, because, you know, black women in fantasy fic is seldom when it comes to the mainstream, and I was glad to see that, and I was hoping that the fight would happen. Maybe some other time it will. But what I really need to talk to you guys about is the reaction that Black Panther is getting. Now, before you guys start disliking my video, because something negative is coming, hear me the fuck out. I absolutely hate the reaction Black Panther is getting. I fucking hate it. Now, I've always liked Black Panther. I always liked the idea of Black Panther. But one thing I've always kept is I always kept Black Panther in a box. The box of Black Panther is a black character or a black parody that is owned by white people. Wasn't created by black people, was created by a white person who was obviously inspired by the Black Panthers. Now, people will argue and say, oh, Black Panther came out before the Black Panther Party was a thing. That is absolutely false. Yes, June of 1966, they dropped. And October, the Black Panther Party was named the Black Panther Party. But before the Black Panther Party was named the Black Panther Party, they had a Black Panther as their logo for a while. Way before Black Panther, the character in the comic book was a thing. So let's just say somebody, just like with all black media, all black music, all black art, somebody saw something black and they was like, capitalism, boom. That's how it worked, okay? Same thing happens with our music, who you think makes the most money off of hip-hop. It's black music, but white people make the most money off of it. Doesn't make any sense? No. Jazz, R&B, all of that shit that we created, rock and roll, all that shit we created, white people are making the most money off of that. And that's what I hate about Black Panther. Black Panther is a black ideal that white people capitalize off of, and the only reason they got away with it is because they had more resources. Because I refuse to believe that there were not black comic book people, black comic book artists, black comic book writers at the time where Stan Lee decided he was going to make Black Panther, that there weren't some guys there who were doing the exact same thing, but they didn't have the resources or they didn't have the platform that Stan Lee and fucking Kirby had. And now he's a mainstream character. He's a mainstream character only because he's owned by white people. Now, the only other black character I can think of that was created by a black person that is mainstream is Static Shock. That's the only one I can think of. I'm pretty sure there are others out there, but the majority of black characters who are mainstream are owned by white people. And that bites my ass because I'm a black creator. I don't like that. Do you understand how hard it is as a black creator to get any attention? Do you understand how hard it is? There are people, black people too, there are people who will see you and completely discard your work just because you're black. There are people who will see your black characters, your people of color characters, your alternative characters, and turn away because they're not straight white males. And I'm not just talking about white people, straight white males. I'm not just talking about straight white males. Latinos, women, white women, Asian women. There are a whole community of people who will see your shit and be like, oh, well, it's a black thing, so I'm turning away. And black people see it and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be put in this box, so I'm not going to buy your comic book because I don't want everybody to think I'm just only buying black stuff. You know, they're the same motherfuckers at the comic book conventions gassing you up. Oh, we need more black characters. Oh, we need more black this. Oh, we need more black writers. We need more black artists. We need all these black people in these comic books to have their hand in comic book. Will walk right the fuck past you and lie to you and say, oh, I don't have $20 to buy your book. I don't have $5 to buy your book. I don't have this money, but they paid $60 to get into the con. And they're walking around with a bunch of prints done by random people, okay? It's bullshit. Do you understand how hard it is to be a black creator or a person of color creator? Because people will see that and they will purposely say, oh, well, that I don't want to do anything with that because you're black. I absolutely hate that idea. Okay, that's why I hate Black Panther. Well, I don't hate Black Panther. I hate the reality behind Black Panther. Black Panther is a black parody owned by white people. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of people are just like, oh, you're just hating because you have a book and you ain't sold shit. You know what? I give two fuck. I know that my book is dark and it's gritty and it's different, and a lot of people are not going to want to read it. I understand now. I get it now. Okay. I also have to figure out a way how to advertise better and get the book out there, other than paying $300 at a fucking comic book con or science fiction con for a table and not selling two books, selling 3 books. That's not going to make up for the fact that I just bought a fucking $300 table at a comic con, at a science fic con. So that's my issue with Black Panther. I'm also, my other issue is that my hands are tied, that I have no choice but to support Ryan Coogler and Black Panther, and it's going to have a 90% black cast. I have no choice but to support that, and all the while knowing that all that money is going straight into some white person's hands. All of it, most of it, and it doesn't exactly help black creators. It doesn't, not at all. Because if that's the case, Blade, Static Shock, all these great black characters, Vixen, Green Lantern, all these black characters would have already had movies or something. Or, let's be real, black characters that were created by black people would be popping. Do you get where I'm coming from? But instead, that's not the case. The case is, if you're owned by a mainstream publisher, i.e. Marvel and DC, you're the only one who's going to get play when it comes to comic book sales, okay? And this is, and especially if you have a person of color character. White characters and comic books, different people get different play. It's a different market for white people, because white people see white people and they're like, oh my god, this is cool. But when white people, or when a comic book goer in general sees a black person, it's a black thing, so I can't buy it. Forgetting the fact that most of you motherfuckers listen to black music. Every music you listen to in this country besides pop is black. Anyway, or black inspired. But that fucking bites my bum. I don't hate Black Panther the character. Black Panther the character is a cool character. What I hate is the fact that Black Panther is only mainstream because he is owned by white people. He's only getting shine because he's owned by white people. Capitalism, man. Capitalism, straight evil. Straight evil. And sure, yeah, I have a book. I am proud of my book. I haven't sold that many, and that's not why I'm upset here. I'm upset. I already told you why I'm upset. I'm a black creator. And the amount of attention, amount of time and money it takes to get attention on your book or something that you created is hard. You have to follow guidelines. You have to ride somebody else's artwork. You have to ride somebody else's dick. You gotta work for somebody else for a certain amount of years. You have to basically go to Dwayne McDuffie fucking route. And there's nothing wrong with that, It's just that some of us would like to not be working as a security guard for the rest of their freaking life. Some people want to be able to focus on creating, but can't do it because they don't have the fan base. Possibly because they're black. A lot of times, you can say some people have capitalized on that. There's a guy who does the Trill League or whatever. That's the little DC characters remixed black. And yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, but there's some people who was able to capitalize on that, and it's only because they went with the whole mainstream black, the stereotypes with black people, and they put them in characters, and it's funny as shit, and it's great, and people love that. But when it comes to original characters, people trying to get over these tropes, get away from tropes, get away from stereotypes, get away from anti-diversity, get away from tokenism. Give a product to black people, not just give it to people, to get it in front of people. There's nothing there. So yeah, I'm mad at black people too. I'm mad at you black nerds because you let that blackness, your blackness, be scuffed away because of what somebody else fucking thinks. Be you, dude. If you see something that you see that's cool and it happens to be black, don't fucking shy the fuck away from it because it's black. Because there are a lot of you out there, and I know you're out there. You are what I call Comic-Con fuck boys. You're Comic-Con fuck boys and Comic-Con fuck girls. Because a lot of you black females trifling like that too. Won't touch a black comic or a black creator's comic book or manga, but have no problem finding some manga from 1975 that was created by some indie Japanese lady, Japanese dude. You have no problem searching for that shit. But you see us, I'm not saying that but we as black creators deserve, we're entitled to black love or black money or black anything, but we are a lot of us create for black people. The same black people who get upset when there's not black stuff, but have no problem giving Marvel and DC your money. Have no problem giving your money to Japanese animes, mangas, and all that other stuff. We great for y'all, but you ignore us. Which makes us have no choice but to create, actually force ourselves into a box and not create for what we want to create for, but we have to like conform. I have to put a white guy as the lead in my comic book if I want somebody to read my comic book. Do you understand where I'm getting? Anyway, I'm going to do a better video than this. I was traveling from work to home, whatever. I had to get this off my chest, and I did this video like 10 different times, and I was yelling at the camera, and I was screaming, and I was like fuming mad, but a lot of my ideas didn't come across. It's great. I mean, some point in this video, around 8 minutes, got a little wonky there, but I got my point across in this video. I hope I got my point across. Like I said, I don't hate Black Panther. I don't hate Marvel because I go see Marvel stuff. I go see DC stuff. I went and saw Batman vs. Superman. I went and saw fucking comic book. I go see comic book movies, but what I don't go see is movies where the main character is white, a straight white male. I don't go see those movies anymore. For me, it's repetitive. It's always the same thing, especially when it's an action movie. It's the same fucking thing. Random sexy white woman. He's attracted to her. He goes, saves her. End of the movie. It's every single movie, so I don't go see those movies anymore, but I do happen to go see comic book movies because I love comic books. I grew up reading comic books. I actually grew up jumping in dumpsters to find comic books because I used to live right next to this army base, and this guy who used to live in this army dormitory used to throw out his comic books, and I used to see him do it, and I asked him the first time. He said, "Get the fuck out of my face." It was okay. So every time I would watch him and he would throw them away and I would jump in the dumpster and go get them. Call me dirty, call me whatever you want, but I do have a crate full of fucking comic books that came out of the dumpster. I actually lost most of them when I was moving out. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Guys, we need your support. Black people, nerds, comic book people, we need black creators, people of color need your support. If you're tired of the same old stories, we need your support. Black people especially, we need your support. If you want more Black Panthers, you want more Black Panthers, you want more Blades, the only way it's going to happen is if you give us support. That's the only way. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. You're going to get it once in a while, once every 10 years. Black Panther come out, was it 2018? Blade started in 1998. And before that, they had Spawn, I think it was 1995, which didn't really do well. Come on, guys, we need your support. Otherwise, if you don't support us, if you don't at least give us a look, give us a share, give us a like, give us a reblog, give us something. If you don't, we're just gonna fucking inkle out and you're never gonna get stories. You're gonna get the same old fucking stories from straight white males on power trips. And you're gonna get the same stories about black people dealing with their blackness from white people. And even if it wasn't written by a white person, it's owned by a white person. So you're getting that story from a white person. And you're getting that story from a black writer, but the money is going to a white person. How does that help us? Riddle me this. Riddle me that. God damn. I'm a black creator who's black. We need y'all support, nigga. God damn. Wait.